And now, you're tuned in to RBLR, the home of Tampa Bay's Reveler Sports.
Welcome in to RBLR Sports. My name is Musab, and no matter if it's preseason, regular season, playoffs, or the end of the season, I'm still feeling fired up about our Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I hope the same goes for you. Surely there is a lot to say about this past season, and surely a lot of feelings from that game-winning field goal by the Rams to the farewell of a legendary friend. Before we dig into tonight's episode, though, listeners, I would like to give the spotlight now to our newest member of RBLR Bucs, Mr. Santiago. Santiago, pleasure having you here. And before we dive right in, I'm sure the listeners want to know a little bit of, of a little background about you. So it's all yours.
Yes, hello, Musab. Hello, RBLR Nation. How are we doing today? Well, how long have I been a Bucs fan? I've been living in the Tampa Bay area now since 1998. I used to live in New Jersey. That's where I was born and raised. But ever since I moved to the Tampa Bay area, I've been supporting all of our local Tampa Bay teams, even the Buccaneers. So I was here during the time of when they won the first Super Bowl back in 2002 under that, that amazing performance, the Buccaneers beating the Oakland Raiders in San Diego. And then, of course, fast forward all the way to these past 2 years of, this has been like a fairy tale. It's been completely a fairy tale dream, and it's one of the greatest. It's very hard to describe at this moment the feeling of everybody that's lived in this area. We've been suffering so many times from like losing seasons, and when you finally have the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, come to your team and lead you to a Super Bowl, Super Bowl 55 in our own stadium, being the first team ever to do it, and hopefully, obviously we would love it to be that way still, definitely in next week, it's going to be, the Rams, of course, but looks like, against Cincinnati, but, it's very humbling, man. It's very, very humbling that, we got to really enjoy and cheer our Buccaneers, and see the stadium full and hear the cannons and, people wear the jerseys and the shirts and the face paint and everything like that with pride. That's something that we haven't had in this area for a long, long time. And I'm super, super happy that Tom Brady his name is going to be up in that stadium, and I'm so happy that he was part of this franchise and in this area.
Couldn't have said it better, Santiago. I feel the exact same way. I am honestly nothing but thankful for this experience we've had these last 2 years with Tom Brady. And I also want to say this, the energy that has been kind of created from, Tom Brady's presence and him coming down here to Florida to join our Buccaneers. It's been insane. It's been off the charts, and I'm loving it. Honestly, it's like Tampa is the city now. They don't call it. A lot of people don't call it Tampa Bay for no reason. So, yeah, the energy also was there for sure, and I hope it's not going to be missed. But hey, I'll tell you this. Speaking of energy, if you like our energy here at RBLR, listeners, if you could do us a favor and however you're listening to this, whether it be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, there's probably a follow button, a like button, or a subscribe button. But also remember this, we are on all social media platforms at RBLR Sports. All right, let's just get right to it, Santiago. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Listen, it is Wednesday, February 2nd. All right, and a lot of things have happened recently. You've already kind of nitpicked a little bit, and that is Tom Brady's retirement. just overall thoughts, first reaction, from, I guess I really want to know maybe Santiago, all right, listen, as soon as we lost and, it was like, oh, all right, well, that's the end of it for our Buccaneers this season. Well, I'm sure a lot of people were thinking, well, is this something concerning to Brady? And then obviously, things came out. Obviously, he came out with his own announcement. So from, just from that till now, how you been feeling?
Well, you know, like Jason Light said yesterday in the press conference, there's not gonna be another Tom Brady. You know, we have to, trust our leadership, trust Jason Light, trust Bruce Arians, trust the Glazer family, and whether it be get a quarterback in the draft or you know Tom Brady was pick number 199 in the year 2000, round 6, and look what he became. You know, we don't know. Could it be Kyle Trask again? Could it be could we go out and get another veteran like an Aaron Rodgers or a Russell Wilson? But again, we have to trust our leadership, and hopefully, we can fill the holes that we need in all parts of the team, and again, fill up the stadium, keep filling up the Raymond James, which because that's a beautiful stadium that we have here in the Tampa Bay area with the pirate ship, with the cannons, and it's electric. So come on, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, let's keep filling the stadium up and showing why we are Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and I also want to know Santiago, kind of just from my perspective, but I'm sure a lot of people can want to ask the same question, and that is, to see someone. Okay, listen, yeah, he's getting older and older. What, 44 now? And just that itself is unbelievable. But also, what do you think of the fact that everyone was kind of hoping, all right, at least crank out one more year. That's what everyone was, ideally anticipating, because he said, he's hoping to at least hit 45 and then see from there. So to see someone who's, leading the league in passing yards and to just be doing so well overall, uh, how did that make you feel that, it's not like he's deteriorating, Santiago. So is this maybe just, I don't know, maybe this just kind of was the moment where he realized this might be, a safety concern. Maybe it's time to spend some time with family. Was that like a very big equation, or what was it, Santiago?
Well, Musab, honestly, you know, from the interview, or the post game interview that he had against after the Rams game, after the Rams defeat, he said that he's going to spend a lot of time with his family, his wife. He his wife gets nervous every time he steps out there on the field in the gridiron, and she worries about him, because as a mother, she has to be doing everything outside of what, because Tom Brady is very, very dedicated to his craft, to his passion, which is the NFL, which is American football, you know. So, you know, is it tough to let him go? If he was a lot younger, it would be tough. Yes. 44. He always said even that he was thinking of maybe playing till 45. So, honestly, I'm just very happy for him. I really am happy for him that he's accomplished everything and more. Is it tough to see him going off in the sunset? Yeah, but his health is important. His because body aches. Everything. Uh, it's I'm kind of a little bit choked up because it's I love the Buccaneers, and you know like everybody's thinking, who's going to come in to that next quarterback position, and we want it to be definitely a diamond in the rough, similar to Tom Brady. We definitely want to do that. So, again, let's trust our leadership. What do you think about that? What do you think, Musa?
When he joined the Buccaneers, obviously everyone was super hyped and everything, but uh, for the real fans out there, they were aware that, there is going to come a time that Tom Brady's going to have to hang up the cleats. So, to be honest with you, I think it just, if anything, maybe it came a year early, but that's about it. And then, if anything, I kind of just cancel out everything. I really don't have any kind of bad feelings, or I was obviously sad the first day, when this news came out. But you got to remember that what we have witnessed uh, is something absolutely iconic. You know, this is something that, when I was growing up, Santiago, and I was watching basketball, I remember my dad used to tell me, "Oh yeah, these guys are great, but son, you did not see Michael Jordan in his prime like I did." So that's the same way I feel about Tom Brady. 30 years from now, Santiago, whatever, I got my kid, my nephew, whatever, whoever's with me, just a young buck, hyping up some random young player, the next Tom Brady, or almost maybe just half of Tom Brady max. I don't know. I really don't think anyone can ever come near him, but that's another story. And then I'm just gonna let him know that, hey, listen, kid. Yeah, sure. This guy's doing good. Yeah, sure. He's a phenomenal player, but what I witnessed was an absolute blessing. It was a privilege and honor to have this guy win it for obviously my team or our team. So that's really the way I feel. He came into our team already pretty old and with a very very long CV. So I guess just the impact is just what I'm just really thankful for. And then again, if we're just kind of playing that little yin yang or whatever, angel devil, then obviously I'm thinking, well, what's gonna happen now? But overall thoughts, though, I mean, hey, listen, this day was bound to come, so that's really about it. But I mean, the way I see it, I guess it was something that needed a lot of time, um, because the way I see it is just at the end of the day, Santiago, um, when Tom Brady hangs up his cleats, shut his locker, and he goes home, he's just like us. He's a human being. All right, he's got a family, he's got a wife at home, and it's maybe it's just time for him to spend more time with family. Sometimes it just gets a little personal. He's had a great career, and I don't think anyone can say anything else other than that. So I see why it was, this needed a lot of time. Santiago, I don't know. What are your overall thoughts about maybe, why did it maybe need a lot of time? Was this something important? Um, I don't know. Is that something you even considered?
Oh, honestly, Musab, you know, at the end of the day, you have to be happy. You have to have 100% dedication. And Tom Brady pointed that out yesterday in his Instagram post that he has to be 100% dedicated because the men that he's going to battle with in the trenches, every game during the season, you know, and into the playoffs, he is the most dedicated athlete that I've ever seen, to be honest with you, that I've ever seen. The most focused, and that's an example, not just once, but more than once, twice to be exact. First with the Patriots, when the Patriots were down 28-3 in the Super Bowl versus the Atlanta Falcons, and he came back and won that Super Bowl. And then this past game versus the Los Angeles Rams here at Raymond James, being down, close to the same score. And if it would have been any other quarterback, any other, maybe athlete, like people would think like, no, I don't think they're going to come back. But, with Tom Brady as a leader, man, it's going to be, I hope every athlete that comes through the doors of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback, they can admire his dedication, his leadership, and learn something and learn from the players that played with Tom Brady, because that's going to be very helpful for us in the future. And I know that with the core of players that stay with this team, we can go to the playoffs next year. I do have faith with that. I really do. I really, really do. Can we go win another Super Bowl? You know, that's going to be, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very challenging because we do play in a very challenging division, the NFC South. But I know that we have the talent. We have Mike Evans. We do have, Chris Godwin, Levante David. And we have many different players. We have Vita Vea. We have many different players that say, you know what? I learned from the greatest. And Musab, what else do you think that, are you excited about, this coming future, this next coming season? What do you think? I mean, do you think we can still make it to the playoffs?
It's going to be a challenge for sure, and I only say that just because of the actual position, and then being who he is. Huge, huge, huge shoes to fill, Santiago. So for that reason, I mean, listen, we were talking about it last week, Santiago, the theme of last week's podcast. Listeners, if you didn't listen or if you did and you don't get the memo or whatever, it was called The Circle of Tom. All right, because that was kind of the gist, which was, hey, listen, all right, well, it was a great season. Now, well, we're just waiting to see, all right, well, Tom's move. All right, because honestly, it has a very, very impact on, first of all, himself, his teammates, the team, the division, and the league. And also, kind of from a broader perspective, I'm also thinking the future. You know, this was the guy of the league. Everyone, I feel like in a lot of leagues or a lot of in a lot of leagues, there's always the guy. Michael Jordan was the guy during his time. Then for me, the way I see it, it came along with with Kobe and then LeBron. So the way I see it with football is that Brady has been the guy. Sure, a lot of young guys been popping up for sure, or even some other great veterans in the past, but to see this guy been here this whole time. I mean, there are kids who've been born and only seen Tom Brady in the league. Ever since they've been born, Tom Brady's been in the league, which is crazy. And these are the same kind of people who can go out to bars and stuff. So that's insane to see how many years he spent, and that kind of just leads me kind of to my next point, which was Santiago, listen, big impact for sure. And I guess I want to know is when the news came out, when it was official by him himself. I mean, I guess maybe I want to know overall thoughts, but what was maybe that first big thought? Because for me, I was thinking, well, obviously, what a pleasure it's been, but also um, the quarterback is such a big position, and then I'm just thinking respectfully to Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask. Um, the the difference in the skill level is it's like comparing the ground to a mountain, and that raised my eyebrows for sure. Always staying optimistic, Santiago, but let's keep it real now. What is gonna happen with our QB situation?
Well, to be honest with you, Musab, I wonder how much the coaching staff, the QB coaches, Bruce Arians as well, the offensive coordinator, I wonder when they've looked and analyzed Kyle Trask when Tom Brady was playing this past year, you know, and that now that we're going into a new year, they didn't know last year that Tom Brady was probably going to retire this year, but now that Tom Brady has finally retired, you know, I would like to think that the leadership are comfortable enough to say, you know what? He did excellent in practice. He showed up. He had a positive attitude. He has a winning mentality because he came from the University of Florida, which is a program that has been to the national title game, has, you know, provided a lot of many good different overall football players in the NFL throughout the history. So, That's something that Kyle Trask has to ask. He has to ask himself that question: is he ready to take that next step to do his job in leading this team to the playoffs and possibly to another Super Bowl? You know, and or go to the NFL draft to see what is available. And then Blaine Gabbert is also a quarterback that has played in the league in previous teams. So he has also a lot of NFL experience. Again, it's very difficult to replace Tom Brady. I'm glad that he was able to wear our jerseys, the pewter, the black, and the red. I would have loved to see him, in a creamsicle uniform, but I see they didn't play with that uniform these last couple of years, with Bucko Bruce. But he's part of our history now, and that's a very tough question. That is very tough. So, what do you think, Musab? I mean, do you think we're going to go into the NFL draft? Do you think, do you have trust in Kyle Trask?
What I'm gonna say is this: is every single year, no matter what team you support, all right, the goal is to always, win the Super Bowl. All right, obviously, you want to take it step by step if you're like a completely horrible team, but we're not at that stage right now. All right, yeah, sure, we lost a very big piece, but I mean, we still, I don't know, we'll see what happens in the beginning of next season. But listen. If we're going to return to the Super Bowl anytime soon, we're going to need to find a very, I guess, what's the right word for this? Like encouraging kind of, ideal quarterback. All right. And I hate to say it, but I have not seen anything at all encouraging from Blaine Gabbert. I'm sure his experience and I'm sure the wisdom on the sideline is valuable. And then with, I mean, Kyle Trask, we haven't seen anything, actually on the field in the regular season. So only so much I have to say for that. If I'm Kyle Trask, I'm thinking this is your shot to show what you have. Sure, maybe you know what you might end up still being backup because maybe we get some kind of big name option during the off season. Okay, but there is still a chance. And you know what? Maybe Kyle Trask is gonna be the new Mac Jones. And listen. It's just gonna just be like, you know what? You got big shoes to fill. You got someone like Bruce Arians to help you out, though. So right now, though, Santiago, I'm not encouraged. I guess if we're speaking right now, Blaine Gabbert's not looking anything special to me at all, and Kyle Trask is a big mystery mark. Obviously, we're just gonna need to wait. But I'm also then wondering, and this is going to be my question to you, Santiago, um, is it safe to play the waiting game, or should we be more aggressive? Listen, we're going to see our options for sure, Santiago, but do we need to be a little bit more aggressive? Because I say that because we also got moves to make in the offseason in regards to other players. All right, Ryan Jensen, playoff Lenny, Kappa, Whitehead, Carlton Davis. And I mean, listen, even Rob Gronkowski, as of right now, is kind of still up in the air. So a lot of things are up in the air when it comes to those things. Well, if Brady is gone, Santiago, how do you feel? If we're talking right now, and you have to make some moves, Santiago. What are the kind of moves you're thinking?
Musab, and to answer that question, honestly, I would definitely want, get, for any young player that's coming to the Buccaneers, whether it's from the draft, I honestly believe that the team is going to do everything in their power to keep, possibly playoff Lenny, Ryan Jensen, which is, he is a center that, he will protect the QB, and the center is a crucial position on the football field. Also, like it's just very tough. I'm sorry. It's very very difficult because we also have to look at the cap. And To be honest with you, we have to really look at, you know, keep, obviously we're going to keep players like Mike Evans. We're going to keep, hopefully we can keep, Chris Godwin. Yes, he had a torn ACL, but, I know he's going to come back this year. I heard, we have, Devin White, Levante David, those players right there. Hopefully instead of going out to get like the big paycheck, they can learn from Tom Brady. And Tom Brady was a player that thought about his team, you know, and instead of going and get that big paycheck somewhere else, he decided, hey, let me get the best players around me and believe in the system, believe in everything that we do to go win championships, and leave a legacy in this league. So, that's what I believe the players should be able to think about, honestly. Yes, American football in general is a very tough sport. It is. You don't see that many players go all the way up to what Tom Brady did and at a high level. You don't see that at all. So, but to be honest, Musab, what do you think? I mean, do you think that we're going to keep a lot of these players? Do you think, like they say, it's going to be it's not a rebuilding. It's we're gonna still, it's going to be like a reloading year. What do you think? I mean, do you think we can keep a core of these players?
I think we'll try to make the best. Ideally, what I would kind of do is, yeah, try to keep as many of those guys, especially our starters for sure. Just because, yes, obviously, massive or even impossible maybe shoes to fill, Santiago. But I will say this is that it may take a little bit of time, and we may have to go through some interesting obstacles in the QB room. Maybe not. I don't know. But what I will say is this, all right? Sooner or later, some gentleman who plays quarterback is going to have the common sense to take advantage of this opportunity. Because yes, Brady is gone, but Santiago, you just said it yourself. I mean, yeah, we still have a phenomenal roster of all kinds of guys from our offense, like Mike Evans, Lenny, to our defense. All right. So yeah, the way I see it is, I do. Yeah, we want to try to keep those guys to the best of our ability, but yeah. So it's all just going to come down to this. All right, someone is going to have the common sense to take advantage of this opportunity to be playing with a phenomenal group of guys, and also a lot of respect to Bruce Arians and the rest of our coaching staff for sure. So yes, Tom Brady is gone, but the organization is still looking hot. All right. And it's just going to come down to who is ready to put in the work. Yeah, and maybe it's going to take some time. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it takes some time. Whether that means a year, 2 years, I don't know. Maybe it just might mean a few weeks. I guess we'll just have to find out. Right now, we'll just have to find out and see, uh, what we have. But um, if the opportunity arises to, get someone during the off season, I don't see why not. But I just hope that it doesn't come with a big cost, because the quarterback position is a very extreme, interesting challenge. All right. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the experience, but also team chemistry and clicking with your guys. Um, and I'm sure Tom Brady did click with the guys, but also with a CV like his, you gotta just click with him. All right, you're gonna work with him. Simple as that. All right. So maybe it's not gonna be like that, Santiago, but um, someone's gonna have to step up to the plate. And my question is though is how soon is that gonna be, Santiago? And I don't know, from the top of your head, what do you think? I mean, um, if we do keep all those guys, but then again, Santiago, what if we don't keep a lot of them? All right, but also Santiago, Jake and I talked about this last week, which is what impact does this have on the players, not performance wise or their, I mean, I guess maybe just more their future wise. All right, because now I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe I'm not one of the starters. All right, from the top of my head, I'm not going to drop a name or anything like that, but maybe I'm not one of the stars on the team, but someone like Tom Brady is giving me the opportunity, Santiago. And now it's my time to either, sign a new contract, renew it, or find another team. So I guess I want to know, Santiago, is this something to consider? Is this something that's going to happen like big time, a little? What do you think maybe I don't know, 20% of the guys are going to kind of leave maybe for that reason. Listen, no one's really going to explicitly say, all right, well, hey, Tom said Toodles, so I'm going to say Toodles. But I think we'll get some indication from some of the players. Ideally, I feel like us Buck fans, and I feel like the more you dig into these players or whatever, you can kind of tell their intentions or whatever. So uh, yeah, well, what do you think is going to happen with that? How many guys want to stay Santiago Ogo is my question.
How many guys want to stay? I would. No, that's very tough, right? But I would. I would think about with Bruce Arians still being at the helm and still Jason Light. I wouldn't doubt if about maybe 35% probably the players stay. Maybe 40%. You know, let's go 50. That's I'm going. I'm actually if I go 35, that's less than half. So I mean, like let's say about 50, maybe 55%. Of the players want to stay, right? Because obviously a lot of there are going to be players, some of our top players getting looked at by different teams. But I mean, they have to look at back in 2002 when we won the Super Bowl, like we had Brad Johnson as a quarterback, but we had a tremendous defense. We had Warren Sapp, we had Derek Brooks, we have John Lynch, the pillars. We have to have in this team. We have to have these pillars. We have to have the pillars like Mike Evans, Vita Vea. We have to have the pillars like Levante David, Devin White. We have to have Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Bunting. Can those players, step up to the plate? They're veteran players that played with Brady. You know, we have to, hopefully Rob Gronkowski can come back and be a pillar of this team. Because if Rob comes back, that hey, they're going to be like they're going to be players from other teams, top players, or from the draft that they're going to be like, you know what, I want to go to Tampa Bay because yes, we have great weather here. We have beaches. We have the sunset. We're the sunshine state. We have beautiful weather all year round. But guess what? I want to go play football. I want to play to win a championship, to win a world championship. And I know the Buccaneers can take me there. So I believe that, we have everything we can. Tom Brady gave us the DNA for winning, and we can definitely take that into the future. When people look up into the stadium, because we know he's going to be in the Ring of Honor, they're going to see his name up next to all the other Buccaneer greats, and, I know that we can definitely, we're not going to go back to losing. We're going to definitely, in my opinion, we're going to keep winning. We're going to make Tampa Bay more global than what it is. We are going to do that. I know we can. I know we are. What do you think, Musab?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know, Santiago. I mean, yeah, I mean, all those reasons you said. Yeah, I mean, why would someone not want to come? But um, Santiago, I mean, the way I kind of see it, unfortunately, I know I think we definitely have pillars, and I want to hype up and give all the love to the rest of the guys, like our stars, even like Mike Evans. But uh, Santiago, if we're thinking at least with the off season right now, and if nothing encouraging, pops up by the time these players need to make a decision, then are we really an actual really good team? Because right now we're speaking. We got to play tomorrow, obviously not, but Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert's our quarterback as we speak.
Hmm.
So, um, and then for someone to have the option to join our team or not, it's a dangerous situation.
Hmm.
So, um, but that's kind of just the way I see it. I mean, I don't know, Santiago. I think it may come down that I think a few players may see the quarterback we have or end up with, and by the time they need to, make a move, and they may find, their future somewhere else. I wouldn't be surprised. It's tough because Santiago, this is literally like Tom Brady's on some next level. You know what I'm saying? So uh, you are losing a really big piece. At first, I didn't really realize it last week when Jay kept on, giving me or the idea of the circle of Tom, but it really is at least the way with everything that's happened, especially a Super Bowl win. Just imagine the GOAT kicks open your city's door and says, "Hey, let's get a championship, eh?" And boom, you actually do get one in your own city. Santiago, that is historical. All right. What we witnessed last year with Tom Brady and the rest of the guys, that was absolutely historical. All right. So, I'm just really, really happy no matter whatever happens. But uh, at least when we're talking about our future, I am concerned. And one side of me says, listen, I'm hoping and I have a lot of trust in our coaching staff and our GM and everyone else who is part of the equation in finding the right quarterback or our starting quarterback. So whoever we get, Santiago, yeah, they better be it, and they better be aware that you have the shot of a lifetime, especially if we do keep all the guys. So um, that's just the way I see it, and I guess maybe the last kind of maybe more future question I have for you, Santiago, is what impact does this have, I guess, on our division or the league? I guess, I'm thinking more for me from a division perspective because our division looking a little interesting right now with Sean Payton's gone, Saints QB situation looking interesting, Panthers have been real interesting themselves as well. And then along with that, we have our Bucks and oh my god, I'm already having another brain fart. So uh, you know, it's it's a kind of a situation. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's kind of a situation like the Cowboys kind of had. It's just like, all right, well, hey, listen, interesting, weird division, but yeah, I mean, you're the best one with the best record, so hey, congrats, Cowboys. You did it. I guess you won the division, but is that what it's going to turn out to be, Santiago? Because I don't know. That's the way I see it. I mean, yeah, the Falcons are looking interesting as well. Falcons, Saints, Bucks, Panthers, all just got huge, huge mystery marks on them. Santiago, the way I see it, I don't know. How do you see it? Slash, yeah, what's gonna happen with our division?
Well, our division, the NFC South, has always been competitive. And in the last two seasons, Did we have uh, an ace? Yes, we definitely had an ace, and that was Tom Brady. Now he's not there, so other fan, the other teams in our division are probably not going to be as, you know, they're not going to be they're thinking that they have a chance because now we have Tom Brady. He's out of the picture. He's gone. He's retired. So it's again going to our biggest, like our kryptonite. Other than, yes, we did beat him, right, in the divisional game 2 years, not this year, obviously, the year before when we won the Super Bowl, the Saints, right? But the Saints have always been like a thorn in our sides. And, you know, It's always been that way. Even from 2002 when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, we lost twice to the Saints that year, and they've always been the little thorn on our sides to, give us the most issues. What we have to do is we have to play buck ball. We have to do our best in recruiting. And, you know, going back to Tom Brady being drafted in the sixth round, pick 199, a lot of times, a lot of these sports networks, a lot of these analysts, they want to hype up a lot of all these players like in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, in the first round, in the first round of the draft, for example. We have to have trust in every single player that we get, from every round that we get, whether it's a quarterback in the seventh round, for example, because Tom Brady, when he was drafted, he told Robert Kraft, he said, listen, this is the best decision that you ever made, and I'm going to prove it, you know. So Kyle Trask, if he's our quarterback, I'm going to have all the trust in him, because Tom Brady proved that. He wasn't drafted in the first round in 2000. That was actually Ryan Leaf that came out of Washington State. But Tom Brady was drafted in the sixth round. Okay. So again, we have to trust. Trust is it's the number one thing that we have to have is trust. That's what it is. And I believe in this team. I believe in this leadership. I believe in everything because Tom Brady gave us the roots. He gave us the seeds, and we're going to grow that tree to become a big, big tree like, the big Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center. We're going to have a big, big tree, and it's going to be bright. And guess what? It's going to be brighter because Tom Brady gave us the bright seeds to go win another championship. What do you think, Musa?
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is just, yeah, I guess we'll just have to trust. Santiago, I'm just kind of just taking it day by day. Right now, all I would say is, yeah, I have trust in Trask, just because I'm giving him the benefit of doubt, just because I haven't seen him play a regular season game, and it's just going to come down to, is Trask going to take advantage of this opportunity? If he doesn't, then it needs to be someone else, and I'm sure the coaching staff and our GM are very well aware of that. Respectfully, I don't think we'll be succeeding anytime soon if Blaine Gabbert's going to be our starting quarterback. Hey, by all means, if he's got to crank it out for a game or two and start or whatever, hey, so be it. I can see that working out, whatever. But right now, what do you want to call a rebuild or reload? We're gonna need to make the right move, and this is a very tough obstacle that the Bucs are facing right now. In fact, Jason Light himself said that him and Bruce Arians, when they first got Brady, they said, "Hey, listen, there's gonna be a day that comes that Mr. Brady is gonna wave us all goodbye, and he's just gonna go back home. I hope you know that, Bruce." And Bruce is like, "Yeah. Yep, we'll worry about that later." Well, later is now, Santiago, and that's all it really comes down to. Is right now we are in some murky waters, just because, yeah, we want to keep all of our, as you said, pillars, but also it is extremely, extremely, extremely important we at least get someone encouraging. All right, sure, obviously they're not going to be anyone like Brady, but listen, they got to give me hope. All right, right now I got no hope because I haven't seen Trask. Blaine Gabbert is only giving me a little bit of hope, and we'll see who else we get. But I will say this also as well, Santiago listeners, hey, keep your head up, because I'm gonna tell you this, hey, Brady might not get to wear that creamsicle throwback jersey next year, but what he can wear is a shirt from us, and you can too. All right, look, liking and subscribing is free, but hey, if you need some new threads, you want to up your outfit game, you can support this podcast by heading over to shop.rbllr.com. rblrsports.com and checking out all the designs we got cooked up for you. Listen, we got shirts in all colors of our beloved teams. We got designs honoring our football, hockey, soccer, and baseball teams. All right. And I'm going to tell you this, listeners, we're gonna throw a little bit of extra love for you if you're listening to us right now. I'm going to let you know this. Use the promo code Cannons for 10% off your order. That is Cannons. All right, Cannons. There's a link right in the description as well. So don't forget that about that. But Santiago, listen, we'll just do this. It's the anchor leg right now, the 4x1. We're gonna hit the finish line soon with our episode, but I kind of just want to do a little bit of an overall recap. Obviously, we have recapped a lot about the impact of Tom Brady and this retirement announcement and everything it's done. It really is a circle of Tom. That's something we've definitely recapped for sure. But hey, why don't we just, I kind of want to just go overall thoughts. All right, recap of the season. Um, Obviously, I mean, I don't know about you, Santiago. I got a lot to say. I'm not gonna force you to just to keep it extremely brief, but what's your report card of the season, maybe from start to finish? How did you feel, and how did our team do? Um, was it maybe something you maybe want to talk about on a week by week perspective, or maybe from start to middle, like that bye week area, and then to the finish line of our regular season? The way I see it was I took it game by game. It was a roller coaster of emotions for me. We had our ups and downs, but I want to put the spotlight on you right now, and I just want to see, yeah, kind of overall summary, overall report card of our Tampa Bay Buccaneers season.
Well, to be honest with you, Musab, overall, if I'm looking at we made history, winning the most games we have ever won in a whole season, you know, because of players and leadership like Tom Brady. So, and overall, I would give this grade an A because, did we not make it to Super Bowl? No. But it's something more important than that. Like I said before, and I said it many times right now in this podcast, Tom Brady gave us the seeds and the DNA right now for winning. You always have to start somewhere. All right? You always have to start. And it's baby steps. But guess what? We have the right people to take us to another Super Bowl. We really do. We really, really do. And the way Tom Brady would prepare, every day going to, one Buck place over there to train, you know, people when you analyze the greats, because when you learn from the greats, you're gonna get better yourself. So overall, you know, we I give this an A. Can I make it like an A minus? And no, I'm gonna give this an A. I'm not gonna go. I'm not. I don't want. I'm not gonna. On my part, I'm not gonna break. I don't want to break it down like just by game. I just want to. Honestly, overall, I give it an A because it's just. And this whole time, these past 2 seasons of Tom Brady being here, it's been wow. It's so awesome to see the stadium because I remember when there would be blackout. When they would black out the games on TV because the stadium wasn't full enough. To now this, it's thank you, Tom Brady. We will miss you. We love you. We definitely do. That you have left a long-lasting legacy in this area for a very long time. What do you think, Musa?
Yeah, my report card. Yeah, I'm gonna give them an A. I don't know, A, maybe A minus. I mean, listen, Tom Brady did phenomenal, but we had our ups and downs with some positions and some other things that had costed us throughout the regular season. But You know what? I'll be kind to them. All right, I'll give them the A as well. Because you know what? I'll say this why. Because really, I'll keep saying it over and over again. I've said it a lot throughout this whole season, and that is, it really has been a roller coaster of a season, a roller coaster of emotions. Listen, what we started out with this season, fired up. We played the Cowboys. Oof, scraped the win, and it was like with a banged up deck. So I was like, all right, raising eyebrows. Oh, okay, yay, boom. We ran over the Falcons, but hey, remember it's the Falcons. All right, ooh, big game coming out. Oh, we got the Rams. All right, well, tough loss, and also extra tough because Sean McVay was celebrating a little bit too much. And all right, next week, boom, another scraped win against the Pats. Now that was a nail biter. And then, okay, hey, sunshine and rainbows, boom, we run over the Dolphins. All right, hey, dominant game against the Eagles. All right, but hey, all right, they kind of came back. I don't know, 28-22. I don't know. All right, whatever. We won. Next, absolutely. Honestly, this was my favorite game just because I feel bad for Justin Fields, but we kind of, we didn't kind of, we definitely bullied him and the whole Bears team. All right, that was my favorite game of the season. Just to see that we just contained a team to 3 points. We were embarrassing them all. We were a little, I would say, yeah, a little too aggressive with Justin Fields. It was just too easy. I guess that's what it was. And anyways, next game, just a really, just as always, uh, a roller coaster game itself with the Saints, as it always is. All right. And then the next week, a really weird loss. This was my first, like, what? Are you kidding me? That was against the Washington football team, now known as the Washington Commanders. And then, okay, now it's kind of like, all right, oof. Now it's starting to get a little bit more sunny. All right, a little 30-10 win against the Giants. Nice. Ooh, okay. Interesting matchup against the Colts. All right, but we still came up with the win. All right. Good game. Good win against the Falcons. What an interesting game against the Bills. What a comeback for sure. A really, really weird game with the Saints. I can keep going on. Boom. And then it's the finish line. Boom. Easy win against the Panthers. Really weird game against the Jets, but it shows you how amazing Tom Brady is. No matter what, never count him out. And then again, another beautiful game against the Panthers, and then our playoffs. The Eagles win and the Rams loss. So you could tell just the way I was telling it, Santiago. I mean, I was going up and down, up and down, up and down, and that's really how I felt, honestly. And you know what I want to say though is, I also want to make sure that I want to back this A up with because of what we were dealing with, and sure, a lot of other teams, or if not every team in the league, was dealing with things like injuries and COVID and all that, but there were times where it became really scary. It was like we were just picking up anyone who we could, and it was like, ooh, okay, oh, okay, interesting. Oh, we got that guy. And sometimes, I'll tell you this: in all past seasons, you see this news that, oh, the Bucs picked up this random left tackle from the Houston Texans or something. I'm like, all right, cool, all right, well, like he's gonna be relevant. Well, any of those guys we picked up during the regular season, yeah, they were gonna be relevant. They were bound to be relevant based on the situations we were dealing with. And to see people like Brashad Perriman, come through and get a game-winning touchdown, or even like Pierre Desir racking up an interception that kind of sealed the win for us. It was like a domino effect, Our defense clicked well, or it clicked to the best of its ability. No matter how many missing pieces, or no matter how many depth pieces we had going in and out, in and out, we did the best we could, and that's kind of just my overall report card. Is yeah, listen, someone's got to lose. Not everyone's gonna win the Super Bowl. It was definitely a stinger for sure, but uh, don't forget how amazing of a season this has been. And I mean, I can't thank, yeah, people like Tom Brady and the rest of the guys. I can't thank them enough. But also Santiago, like we do it every week, no matter it be the off season, regular season. It may get a little bit challenging with the off season coming, just because I can't imagine how many moments we'll have. And that is, Santiago, what is your RBLR moment of the season? Santiago, I'll give you a little bit of a time because I know it's your first RBLR moment with RBLR Sports. And I'll go with mine. And That my RBLR moment was the Brashard Perriman game-winning touchdown. First of all, just to see the comeback like that, just to see a guy that okay, I guess hey, yeah, we gave him another chance, and to see how kind of important that game was. That was like, all right, well, hey, listen, Bucks, you got an easy finish. Well, this is like your kind of last like relevant competition. All right, this is your last like good team, like last like all right, hey, listen. It's becoming the end of the season, Bucks. Now, you've spent a lot of time. Can you beat the Bills? It was an interesting game for sure. And the fact that, yeah, Tom Brady, as always, came through. And the man who came through with him was Brashad Perriman, was absolutely iconic. Just his story is something just so inspirational and motivational as well. And so, yeah, that's my RBLR moment. Just something special. It doesn't have to be something, sure, it can be something that, everyone else has thought of as well, maybe just because it was very special to you. Or maybe it's just something that, maybe you thought, hey, it's kind of small, but personally, I appreciated it. So, Santiago, what is your RBLR moment?
My RBLR moment has to be the Mike Evans touchdown that happened right now with, when the Bucks, yes, they did lose to the Rams, but that one touchdown, because it just left everybody in awe. It left everybody in awe. People that were at the stadium, people that watched it on TV. I mean, it's like, wow, we have greatness. And if Tom Brady, if Mike Evans gave that the ball number 600 to a fan and he was trying to get it, do you imagine? Like, I believe I saw on TV that he threw that last game ball in the stands, and whoever has that ball, you know, imagine Tom Brady negotiating a lot more, to get that ball back. So that's my moment of the year. So, it would have been awesome to have a moment like Tom Brady going off into the sunset, winning his eighth, Super Bowl ring with all those diamonds. And I've noticed a picture of Tom Brady with all of his rings, and the Bucks ring that he has it's like the one that's in gold color. It's a gold color, is the only one. It's unbelievable the detail of that ring. It's unbelievable the details of all the Super Bowl rings that they make. But it would have been awesome. But yes, that's my moment. The touchdown that Tom Brady did to Mike Evans.
All right, all right. Hey, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I mean, even now, I'm trying to remember that Evans touchdown where he got the record. Well, he yeah racked up the record for Brady, and then immediately gave the ball away. That was yeah, it was a nice little giggle just to see that happen or whatever. It's just the small little things that you appreciate. Um, but listeners and even Santiago, I mean, um, I want to start out with just appreciating the depth pieces, and I want to say that because I want to kind of lead that on to the fact that overall as a team, Santiago, we did pretty well, and every single one of those depth pieces, our starters, coaching staff, every single one of those people, even the fans, all right, it all played into the equation for us doing really well. And I just want to highlight. I mean, compared to our opponents, we've been absolutely dominant, kind of, points wise. All right, total touchdowns. We racked up 63. Our opponents were like, average was about like 39. All right, we've been completely dominant when it comes to like first downs compared to others. All right. Even on fourth down conversions, that shows you, ooh, fourth down conversions was looking pretty darn good compared to the rest of the league. I mean, it's like a 10-point difference. And I'm sure Tom Brady has a lot to do with that. So, I only wanted to bring up a few sacks or whatever, a few kind of things, a few stats, and, even on our defensive side, yeah, we did solid. I guess so. I mean, I will say there's like maybe a handful max, Santiago, of stats of our Buccaneers that lack compared to the rest of the league. Not even like the good guys or the good teams. It's really just the rest of the league. Um, one I guess is being interception. Surely our pass rush and even our run defense was great, but just those kind of things are just things to consider. And with all this being said, with the stats and how our team did overall, uh, Santiago, how do you feel about us competing with our opponents next season with what we have right now. And I guess maybe, well, you know what? We can go a little bit into that, but I guess I want to know overall thoughts of just, how we did as a season. I mean, you say A plus, and I kind of just draw some statistics for you right here, but is there anything you want to add on, or maybe that you wanted to highlight in regards to the team stats or even player stats? Something that just says, hey, listeners, if there's something or a few things you should know, it's these things because, hey, the numbers don't lie. So if you think, some dude on our team, did phenomenal, or you know what, we'll even say, just someone who even caught your eye. All right. What are just some things, I guess, from the players or the team that impressed you? Maybe are definitely raising your eyebrows, saying, "Hey, listen, yeah, we're a hot team, but Musab, I hope we fixed this, or I hope we fixed that." Overall feelings, just with how we actually performed. I mean, I kind of mean that more in like with our statistics. Obviously, I'm not asking you, a tell me the exact tackles of Devin White, but compared to the league, yeah, rest of the league, Devin White did real well. All right, yeah, compare what passing yards, Tom Brady, yeah, 5,300 compared to the rest of the league or the rest of the quarterbacks in the league. That's a lot more. So with all that being said, how do we feel? Kind of just overall final thoughts slash anything to add.
Um, well, to be honest with you, Musab, I believe that when Chris Godwin was injured, with his ACL, which that was just a horrible play, from the Saints player with the helmet going to the knee, and that was it. We definitely have to. We were, I mean, he was a pillar, and we didn't have an extra wide receiver, to assist with that. Because like you said in the beginning of the show, like we have had an injury of injuries. We had an issue with injuries happening to many different players. Overall, the stat leader in all this was Tom Brady. At 44 years old, he is the main player in our belief system that we can be down any score, and we're gonna come back to compete and win the game. And that helped us on defense with Devin White, with Levante David. Hey, playoff Lenny, he was in Jacksonville before, previously, and now he came to Tampa Bay because the players believed in him. He racked up so many touchdowns for us. This year and the year we won the Super Bowl last year. I mean, it was just, it's unbelievable. It's amazing. Uh, Stat wise, overall, this is a team sport. The number one stat as a team that we have to look at is wins. Not losses. That's the number one stat. And each player contributed to that statistic. So we can definitely look at individual player statistic, yes, but overall, this is a team sport. This is everybody has to put their grain of salt. So um, we have a lot of negotiations to get these core of players back. I would love to see all these players back, and for us to go into the draft and get a quarterback. To compete, because Kyle Trask cannot just be given that spot. We have to have somebody, because Kyle Trask is coming again from a college that is the University of Florida. He comes from the SEC. Tom Brady came from the Big Ten, Michigan. So I mean, we definitely have, these colleges, these universities, these programs are being always highlighted in the spotlight. College football, college game day, they're always being spotlighted. So they have to, when they get to that next level, which is the NFL, they have to show why they're the best. And whether you're a quarterback, running back, any type of position, we have to, you come into the NFL, you're going to be playing with men, you're not going to be playing with boys. So again, that's my, to answer your question. Hopefully, I'm answering it correctly, Musa. But overall, I believe this is a team sport. In general, because everybody has to do their part.
I'm glad you said that because, hey, great minds think alike, Santiago. That's how I feel. You know what, Santiago? This is how I see it. Because with the stats I kind of brought up and everything, and yes, Tom Brady leaving obviously is a huge kind of hole to fill. But what I will say is this: um, maybe maybe it's not the circle of Tom or maybe whoever we get. No matter who it is, you know what? I think maybe the approach should be, or it's just going to end up being like this, is that it's going to be the circle of the Bucs because, you know, the first guy that comes to the top of my head, I don't know why, but I just remember, saying this beforehand when we played the Colts was, kind of with Wentz and Taylor. Or just Wentz with the whole team. Wentz kind of is like the floor general. All right. First of all, before I go dig deep into anything else, Brady's a whole separate little. He's in his own world, his own level. All right. So when I say floor general, yes, Tom Brady's a floor general, but he's a lot more than that as well. So maybe what we need right now is we just need a floor general, and with the pillars we got, we can make things work out for sure. Obviously, it will take some time, and we're just gonna have to play the waiting game on that. But that's kind of just the way I see it. All right. We were talking about it, and you mentioned, that yes, oh yeah, Tom Brady's gone, but I got a lot of high hopes. Yes, so do I, Santiago, and that's kind of why I just wanted to bring up those stats. As I said, listen, we are a phenomenal team. Okay, and yes, big thanks to Tom Brady as well. But you know what? I'm sure a lot of these guys, as long as they work with a good quarterback, they will succeed. All right. I don't want to take anything away from Tom Brady, but I also don't want to take anything away from any of these players as well. All right. So we are a great team, and I think we're still going to be a great team. It's just a matter of, certain moves we make or what the end result of the kind of signings in the draft turn out to be before the preseason. But no anxiety can change the future. No guilt can change the past, Santiago. We just got to live in the now. Santiago, it's been a pleasure. And, honestly, I really look forward to this off season just because we have a lot of moves to make. This is going to be a rather, I think it's going to be an aggressive one. I think there's a lot to think about, and I think there's going to be some very crucial moves being made and all that. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Santiago, before we close out, any final, thoughts, anything you wanted to add?
My final thought, honestly, is that, let's have a smile on our face, Let's have a smile on our face because I see good things happening to this team. And I see, whether it's in the next 2-3 years, I do see that we can have another Super Bowl. I do see. Can it be this year coming up? Yes. Why not? But I honestly believe if it's not this coming year, the year after. But I do see that, because all great teams and in the NFL, who are the great teams that always compete. And we definitely every single year we have to put ourselves in that conversation, you know. We that Tampa Bay is the place to be, because we cannot just think about the past. Oh, we won these Super Bowls. No, Tom Brady was always asked that question. What's his favorite ring? He always said the next one. That's what we have to think about as an organization, as a team. What's our favorite ring? The next one, and then the next one after that. So, you know, Tampa Bay. Let's keep this trending. It's not just for the Tom Brady moment. Let's make it a trend worldwide. Tampa Bay. Keep repeating that. Champa Bay. Champa Bay. I believe it. Do you?
Oh, yes, I do, Santiago. Let me tell you something. I love that optimism. All right, because yes, you and I think the whole world who has watched football these last God knows how many years, all right, ever since Brady joined the league, all right, ever since Brady, got that stamp as the GOAT, all right. Yeah, we are all thankful. We really are. But yes, we need to move on for sure. All right. The goat said it himself. Yeah, my favorite ring's the next one. So yeah, hey, we need to start. I guess maybe having a maybe this is kind of our wake up call, saying, "All right, Bucs fans, that was the last ride of the Brady train. All right, there's a new locomotive called the Trash Train, and that will be boarding very soon, coming soon to a city near you. But right now, we just got to take it day by day and stay optimistic. All right, I think more than anything, the energy needs to be there. So our listeners, no matter who our quarterback is, no matter what happens, all right, keep that energy. All right, stay fired up for sure. All right, and I'm very optimistic as well, but I also want to take this time to be thankful. And the first person I want to thank again is just it really has been a pleasure yourself, and I'm just going to keep it nice and sweet. This has been an absolute iconic moment, or has been a blessing to have witnessed what we have, and I'm very much thankful for that. But I'm also thankful for this as well, listeners. And Stefan, I know you're out there somewhere. Stefan, I want to give you a big shout out. It has been nothing but a pleasure, all right, to be a co-host with you on RBLR Bucks and to be kind of digging deep, game by game on everything. It's like almost every single week it was a roller coaster of emotions, and even the chats we had during the games. Those are also something to remember for sure. So, Stefan, wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And I also want to say this, listeners, last but not least, listeners, oh, thank you so much for your time. Honestly, it really means it. I want to take this episode specifically, and I'll keep it nice and sweet, but I also want to make sure that you get the love that you deserve. That is honestly, thank you so much for giving us a chance. Thank you for giving us a listen. You know, you made it through thick and thin with us. You heard me kind of ranting throughout the whole season about different things. It was like one week the penalties, and oh my god, next week, oh my god, oh special teams, oh my god, next week, oh my DBs, and you were there with us the whole time. So, again, thank you so much. And show us some love if you can. Follow us at RBLR Sports, Instagram, Twitter. If you still got it, we are also on Facebook as well. But again, hey, maybe you're on the go. Maybe you like to drive or something. You like to listen to RBLR on the way to work or something. So, hey, yeah, good news. Reminder. We are on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts. You don't have those, not a problem. iHeartRadio, YouTube, and you know what? Other major podcast platforms. Listeners, it has been nothing but a pleasure to be doing this episode again. And, that's all. I'm just going to leave it to you. All right. Stay optimistic. All right. Stay fired up. Remember when I say this, all right, we're going to be looking back at this episode and you'll be thinking, oh, wow, I feel a lot different than I do now, Musab. Well, I will too. All right. So, listeners, as always, thank you again. That's all for this episode. And go Bucs.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.